Hey everybody, it's your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game. Hope you all had a wonderful barbecue filled Labor Day weekend. I, of course, did not. I did work, although I am coming to you on a Tuesday evening, just a few hours short of taping the hour long with special guests this week, the Fam Pod, only because my active solo founder rebellion yesterday was instead of cranking out a recap pod for you all in a timely fashion, I decided I was going to go play Madden 18 all day, take my Seattle Seahawks franchise just short of the Super Bowl. What can you do? A lot of injuries. Anyways, let's jump into these call sheets real quick. Though I did see a movie over the weekend at the theaters, at least, and it was the much maligned Tulip Fever. And you know what? It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't great either, but it wasn't that bad. You know, I'm a sucker for historical fiction. It definitely satisfied on that point. You're talking like 16th, 17th century Amsterdam, I think, where they wear stuff like this. Look at that nice frilly whatever that thing is, fan around his neck, nice big dresses and corsets and all that good stuff. Alicia Vikander, she of that robot movie fame, and also famously dated or is still dating Michael Fassbender. Not that her acting work does not stand out on its own. Actually, she was nominated for an Oscar, I believe, for that movie with Eddie Redmayne. God, you know, she right now she's queen of the indie darling period movie. And shows it once again in this movie. Dane DeHaan, I mean, I kind of want to say he can't catch a break, but I just don't know about him as an actor. Hollywood really wants to make him happen, but it really doesn't bring anything to the role, to any role. Otherwise, it was fine. I mean, basic plot is during Tulip Mania in 17th century Amsterdam, where tulips were selling, as a lot of people will liken to today, like Bitcoins, almost irrationally with no sense, and how these tulips had really no intrinsic value beside their beauty. Although I would debate that Bitcoin has a lot of intrinsic value. Holla at me at blacksandbitcoin.com. Anyways, she in the middle of Tulip Mania, she falls in love with this painter, this artist who's painting the portrait of her and her older husband. It's a loveless marriage. He kind of saved her from an orphanage and a life of destitution, so that she will bear him a child, and they haven't been able to conceive yet. And it's this big thing, it's a big issue, and so this big weird plot involving like fake pregnancies and all sort of crap. And it gets kind of weird down the stretch. And then in order to afford a lifestyle where you can properly kind of court her, Dane DeHaan's character, the artist, decides he's gonna go all in on tulips, tulip bulbs, and it's just a big mess towards the end. I originally gave it 3 reels because it was engaging enough, and love story was fine. It was okay. Like, I enjoyed it fine, but the more I think about this movie, and the last act totally falls apart, just totally collapses. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, this thing was not that great. So maybe it's more of a 2 reel movie. I take it back, not 3 reels, 2 reels. Anyways, I mean, you could do worse as far as historical fiction, nice big frilly gowns and dresses and stuff. But you can see why this movie sat on the shelf at the studio for 3 years. It's been delayed for 3 years. It's never a good sign. And it similarly bombed, made 1.4 million over the 4-day weekend on 765 screens. So total bomb. Okay, so that's what I watched this weekend. What did you watch this weekend? All right. So, anyways, Let's take a look at some of these completed call sheets from last weekend. A light turnout as to be expected. Labor Day, y'all are getting your last bit of summer in. Can't be mad at you. And first place in the feature presentation was, oh, look. Oh, my. It's yours truly, your boy, Eduardo Jackson, CEO, founder, creator of the Cinema Draft game, squeaking it out with 127.99 points. Also tied for the call sheet of the week. And the strategy here was real simple. it was all Haslo all the time. I max stacked it. There's only 7 available actors for Haslo Como Hombre. That's our 3F, our foreign focused film of the weekend. Is on 382 screens. And if it weren't for Box Office Pro projecting it would do so well, they estimated $3 million over the 4-day weekend. What did it finally end up doing? I don't think it did nearly that much. It did. What did Haslo do? Oh, is this can't? Oh, there we go. Haslo did. There we go. 1.4 million over the 3-day weekend. So a tick above Tulip Fever. Woo! Half as many screens did a little more box office. Owned! Yes. Haslo Como Hombre. That was a place to be. Once I saw that recommendation, that projection, I mean, inflated as it was. I mean, missed the mark by by double. But considering this is going to be platform release, I figured it was worth a shot because if it did even half of this, which is almost what it did, then you're looking at 15 points. In my case, 11.52 points. Can't get that kind of value in any other slot. Look at it, 24 grand left over because I max stacked it. All 7 actors. I took Hitman's Bodyguard, headliner stack for good measure, so that got me to 14 points. And then Girls Trip, headliner, 7,700 for 6.47 points, which I do believe led the weekend for limited releases. Yes, it did. 10th place, the box office, another 2.8 million over the 4-day weekend. Actually, let's click the 3-day weekend. We scored ours off the 3-day weekend. Yep, there it goes. 2.3 million over the 3-day weekend. It's really impressive, man. It's really, really impressive. I mean, it's in its. That can't be okay. Here we go. It's in its 7th week, 8th weekend essentially, and it's made over 111 million on 19 million budget. Now on our rule of 2.87, which is a movie generally needs to make 2.87 times its budget to recoup all of its marketing costs and budget costs and prints and advertising and everything like that. It only needed 54.53 million. I mean, the studio's laughing to the bank. I mean, laughing to the bank on that one. So congrats on that Girls Trip. So yeah, so that was my strategy. Proved to be pretty effective. And even though I pretty much figured out, even if I didn't know I was right or I was going to be right, I figured out that was my only strategy. So I put this call sheet for a change in all 5 contests. Okay, so let's take a look at second, the God of Cheese, 126.48, just off by about 1.5 points. And he also had a max stack of Haslo Como. He had Hitman Bodyguard headliner stack, and he had Terry Garr from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You're going to see most of these top call sheets had a similar construction. It was basically, as Jay Devlin would say, a one actor call sheet week, because you're going to find most of the high performing contests had a 9 actor correlation. So his deviation was Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and the reason why that did not work is because it only made 1.76 million over that weekend, the 901 screens. That's limited release. You can see it's a good 400,000 behind Girls Trip, and that was the deciding factor. So we're just going to call this the standard unless proven otherwise. In a tie for third, oh, actually, I'm sorry, this is a 3-way tie. So it's a 3-way tie between God of Cheese, Gamble 24x7, and Ring Balls 22. No, a 4-way tie. Damn. And our boy Jay Devlin, who was on this podcast, talking about his call sheet. They all did an actor from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. He went with Richard Dreyfuss, I guess. Yes, there's a 4-way tie for second. So that takes us all the way down to Michael Volante in 6th. And he also tied for 6th. Who did he tie with? He tied with, let me get this correct. Excellent. back into the winners column this week. Congratulations, excellent, fresh off of snapping his 19-game cashing, his 19-week cash streak. Very impressive. So in this one, Michael Valente's got the standard plus, instead of his limited release headliner is Philip Ng from Birth of the Dragon, which came in just less than 0.10 points behind the Close Encounters folks. Let's see what else. Smart Ash, hey, ring-a-ding-ding, missed you. She's back playing this week. And so she had a 4-pack of Haslo, a 3-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, including the headliner stack of Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, a headliner stack from Annabelle Creation, and then Terry Garr from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and 12,500 remaining. It's really actually a pretty fine call sheet. She probably could have gotten a couple points closer, some change, maybe 2.5 points closer if she had gone with Girls Trip. Even still, actually about a point and some change. Even still, though, 122.61. You just can't make up the value of Haslo. I mean, Haslo, once you get past the headliner stack, I mean, 11.8 points. Especially, I mean, actually, value or price, salary doesn't really factor into it this week because everyone's going to have money left over. You really, I mean, you honestly, I don't think you could have spent, unless you had, even with an 8-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, you really couldn't have spent all your money and won. It's what, it would have been interesting. So I wonder if someone had actually max stacked. I don't think anyone did this, but someone max stacked Hitman's Bodyguard. This is interesting. Okay, let me do the math real quick. I'm very curious. I wonder if someone max stacked Hitman's Bodyguard, threw in Girls Trip for headliner for limited release, and then a Haslo Como Hombre for headliner for your platform. I wonder if that would have won. So let's see. So Hitman's Bodyguard, 14.74 times 2, 29.48, 10.53 times 6, plus 29.48, plus we're looking at 6.47 plus 16.52. That can't be right. Hold on a second. Sorry while I do live math here. I know it's thrilling. Yeah, okay, that's right. So 10.53 times 6 plus 29.48 plus 6.47, Girls Trip, plus 16.52, which is the headline from Homo. Wow, and it only tops out at 115.65. So you have to have the 7-pack from Homo and the headliner stack from Hitman's Bodyguard. Wow. So yeah, you could have max stacked Hitman's Bodyguard out and you still couldn't have won. I think this is the optimal call sheet, or mine was the optimal call sheet. Okay, so but a really valiant effort by Smart Ash. Enjoy the cash. And oh, looky here, the Draft Mom sneaks into 9th place. No money, of course. Let's take a look at the Draft Mom's call sheet real quick. She had a 5-pack of Hitman's Bodyguard, a headliner stack of Homo Como Hombre, and this is where she went off the rails. She headliner stack Get Big, which is just not necessary. She had 11,000 left over. She could have done anything else. And then Richard Dreyfuss from Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 101.87. Congratulations, Mom. You win no money as an employee or family member of a Cinema Draft employee. And then Drew.Zod bringing up the rear in 10th, last cash spot. I'm just going to cover his as well since there were so much correlation in these earlier contests. And looks like a 4-pack Hitman's Bodyguard, a headliner stack of Logan Lucky, headliner stack from Annabelle Creation, Arnold Schwarzenegger headlining Terminator 2, Judgment Day 3D, and Richard Dreyfuss headlining Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Good for 93.94 points, and he just edged out for the money Ray Kinsella. Tough weekend for Ray Kinsella. He's seeing his his call sheet leading all weekend. He's feeling good about himself, as well he should. And then when it came time for weekend actuals, the Hoslow people caught up. Everybody who had Hoslow como hombre, it did not register throughout the weekend. You were getting a goose egg throughout the weekend, but now it finally made up during my hand scoring. So apologies, Ray Kinsella. You fought a good fight. And he actually did try to stack as much Hitman's Bodyguard as possible. He had 1, 2, 3, 4. He had a 5-pack Hitman's Bodyguard, a headliner stack of Annabelle Creation, Jacqueline Fernandez from A Gentleman, Channing Tatum headlining Logan Lucky, and then Alicia Vikander headlining Tulip Fever. And as we mentioned, you really had to have Haslo como hombre in here. Honestly, if he had even one Haslo, let's say if he swapped out A Gentleman for Haslo headliner, that would have been worth another. That'd have been a difference of about 15 points. And that definitely would have got him into the money. Matter of fact, would have got him, what's that, 9th place, 10th, 8th place maybe? It definitely would have vaulted him into the money. Otherwise, like, I like where his head's at. Hitman's Bodyguard did seem to be the leader this weekend from a total gross standpoint. But this just shows you the layers to playing the game, that a platform release can be as much, if not more powerful than a wide release. Okay, so that's what we got going on there. And as usual, all right, and now we've equipped it so that you guys can check at your leisure the scoring and the talent pool and everything. This is the talent pool from last weekend, the weekend we just covered. Feel free to check it out. You can always find them on medium.com, medium.com/@cinemadraft. That's our page. And then under tournament results. So if you go here and see who won what where, up here you can see, you go to the view box office and scoring results here, click that and it'll take you to a view only version of the spreadsheet where it lays all out for you, all the scoring and everything. So you can check for yourself, learn from your mistakes, build up a database to use AI from. I don't know, whatever you fancy. All right. Okay, so let's go into this week's talent pool. We'll get into it real quick. Not a lot of openers this week. We have 4 new openers. Memoir of a Murderer, which is our foreign-focused film of the week. I believe it's South Korean, maybe. So only on 9 screens, so tread carefully. It. Now, it is poised to do big business. Check this out. You look up It. There you go. It opening weekend. Over-under is looking at 67.5 million. Now, look, I'll admit the trailers look good. The trailers for It look super creepy. Well, actually, the way they do it, originally it doesn't look quite like it's like this horror film, at least the first trailer I saw. But ever since, it just gets creepier and creepier. And then they start showing pictures of the clown. The clown, I'm kind of out on the clown. The clown freaks me out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it looks almost like, the way they position it almost looks like the Goonies or Stand By Me. All these little 80s bikes and maybe those 70s. No, it looks like the 80s, early 80s maybe. Basically the time I grew up, time when I was a little kid. Yeah, look at this. How Goonies-esque does this look like? Your resident chubby kid, your resident glasses kid, all these little clean-cut, white kids get into innocent trouble, innocent fun, exploring, spelunking, whatever. And then they're into that. Oh, my God. Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the Clown. That's where you lost me, y'all. This just, I mean, I don't do horror as it is, but Jesus, Mary, Joseph, this is a non-starter for me. It's a creepy clown. I want no parts of it. I'm good. No. Crazy. And then the red balloon thing. I'm out. Otherwise, I'm here for all the 80s reminiscence, and youthful adventuring. I mean, trust me, when I was what, 10 or whatever, when the Goonies came out, everyone wanted to be a Goonie. Everyone wanted to go find a cave to go explore, whatever, and get into trouble. I had those socks, those pull up, wide band striped socks, all that shit. But yeah, it's just You had me till the clown, y'all. You had me till the clown. But apparently, the clown isn't a deterrent. It's an attraction. 67 million is the opening weekend estimate. So based off of that, we went high on this one. It's 28,000 all across the board. Now, I got a question in the group chat today, which is fine, apropos. Someone asked, why did I salary all these actors as 28,000? And because everyone is so nondescript, and everyone, I mean, these are all like either first time or unknown or lesser known actors, I decided that they all should get 28,000. I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I was showing bias against the clown because, and maybe the clown is a draw for somebody. So maybe there's an argument to be made that Bill Skarsgård could have been notched a tick up. But as an actor himself, no one's coming for Bill Skarsgård. I bet he's related to the Hollywood Skarsgårds as far as Alexander and what's the other one, Billy or whatever. I don't know. Well, no, I guess he is Billy. Anyways, no one's coming to see Bill Skarsgård in this movie, so everyone gets the same. Everyone gets the same salary for this one. 28,000. Deal with it. I'm sure we'll go over the strategy during the shot list in the hour-long I'm taping later on, but I'm pretty sure everyone's going to just do a headliner stack and then have at it. So just be aware of that. If you're not headliner stacking it this weekend, you're probably getting it wrong. What else? Let's see. Home Again is new. Reese Witherspoon. Yeah, 7,600 to 7,500 to start, all the way up to 9,000 for Reese Witherspoon. Not a lot of information on this one. Matter of fact, we don't even have a screen count for this one, I don't believe. What's the theater count for this? Yeah, this is weird because this is not a small open, I don't think. I mean, even when I go to something, say, Home Again showtimes here in Vegas, it pops up. It's coming out. I mean, when you're having Thursday night screenings, I mean, that's usually indicative of a fairly wide opening. So I don't know. So I just kind of made up a screen count for this. I believe it's going to be about 2,200 screens. So I listed at 2,200 screens in wide release. There might be a curiosity factor only because Home Again is being directed by the daughter of Nancy Meyers. Yes, that Nancy Meyers. What Women Want. I think she's a producer on this one. Is she? Well, if you click on Hallie Myers Shire, they'll show that her mother is. Oh, I guess. Wow. Okay. Bold. Oh, here we go. Daughter of Nancy Meyers, Charles Shire. There you go. So Nancy Meyers, she's known for As Good as It Gets. I think As Good as It Gets, right? Let's see, are these the? Oh, these are writer credits. Well, she's mostly written and directed her movies, but oh, actually, I take that back. I guess she's mostly been writing, but director. Okay, The Parent Trap, What Women Want, Something's Got to Give, The Holiday. Oh, that was delightful. It's Complicated, and The Intern. I like The Intern. Nobody really saw it, but I like The Intern. And I guess she's had far more writing credits than directing credits, and I guess she kind of disappeared for a while from a directing standpoint. She went 6 years between It's Complicated and The Intern, and I suppose she probably could have. Well, no, actually, I take that back. Who knows how this was developed? But anyways, she's a producer on this, I believe. Yep, she's a producer, helping shepherd her baby on her directing debut. Nancy, so she, something's got to give, and As Good as It Gets. Like she had, I'm sorry, no, she did not do As Good as It Gets. She did Something's Got to Give and What Women Want. So she had a nice little run in the aughts where she was a pretty hot commodity, and she's, she's accomplished. And The Holiday, I didn't realize she did The Holiday. That was a sweet little film. And so this is her daughter taking the reins, directing her first film, and I see what she did though. She hyphenated her mother's and her father's name. Okay, very interesting. Charles Shire, her dad. And so I don't know what to make of this. Actually, let's go to Rotten Tomatoes real quick. I just want to do a little recon because this has all the trappings of a Reese Witherspoon ignore fest. But I don't know much about it. Doesn't look like anybody knows much about it. Home Again. Are there any reviews out? Home Again. Okay, only 9 reviews in, 22%. It's not looking good for them. The basic premise is, Reese Witherspoon is Reese Witherspoon, or a version of herself. She plays a woman in LA, 40, whatever, I guess. She is starting over in life somehow, and she has a house full of young, stereotypically horny young guys living with her. I don't know what the rationale of the meet cute is for that. Basically, it's a bit of a romantic comedy. I guess she kind of falls for one at the same. Oh, that's right. She's getting divorced, whatever. So, at the same time, while she's trying to somewhat possibly reconcile with her husband, I don't know. So it sounds kind of messy, very emotional, drama-ish. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for this film, so that's why I salaried it accordingly, 7,500 up to 9,000. And actually, if you want to look at HSX, the oracle that it is, its players are trading the price at around. Oh, okay, that's a lot better than I thought. Than I saw it before. They're trading it at around 9 million or 10 million opening weekend, so that puts it on par with possibly being the second highest grossing movie of the weekend. Because otherwise, you're getting a lot of Hitman's Bodyguards, Leftovers. 9/11 is being released on 400 screens, and I don't see any heat for that. Let's hot tomato it real quick. And it just feels, I don't know. It just feels very bloodless. Or not, actually, bloodless isn't even the right word. It just, look at it. 68% want to see it. No one really wants to see it. No reviews coming out. And this thing's coming out like on Friday. Of course, taking advantage of the timing of another anniversary of 9/11. I guess the 16-year anniversary of 9/11. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. I don't have high hopes for it. I have salaried it accordingly, but because it's got a little profile, it's gonna be on 400 screens, which is at the upper end of platform release, and it's got Whoopi and Charlie Sheen, which are a bit of a draw. It's not like a total cast of unknowns like it. It might do some business. So for platform release, I definitely priced up some. You have to pay a little if you're gonna want that. And yeah, and then everything else we'll kind of go over a little bit in the shot list in the pod you will listen to tomorrow. But I guess it's going to do it for now, everybody. Got to get ready for my next podcast taping. Thanks for giving me the day off yesterday and letting me deliver this to you late. I appreciate y'all's support. We've got to keep this going, everybody. Everybody tell some more friends, get more people involved. It's fantasy football season. I know. I've got 3 teams this year, and DraftKings is starting up and all these other distractions, but Cinema Draft is still the only game you can play for that will pay you for your box office knowledge. Play for free, win cash money. We've paid out over 11,000 in prizes to date. So let's keep this sucker going. Cinemadraft.co. That is cinemadraft.co. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow us on all our social media. Subscribe, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, all that sort of stuff. Anywhere you get your fine podcasts. And between now and next time, everybody, why don't you go see a movie or something?